All right, Chris Popper here in Bangor. I'm joined by Coach Babineau from the UMaine Field Hockey Program and assistant coach Leslie Smith-Abplanalp. Did I do that one right? Oh,
That's
God.
good.
10 minutes practice. And who is joining us as well today. And I thank you both for your time today. Um, it's been now almost a week since practice has started. Tell us how things have been going and what you guys have been up to.
Yeah, things have been going very well. We've had 4 days of, well, today was our fifth day of practices. We were on a day off of practice yesterday and went to Bar Harbor, but the beginning has gone well. Obviously, it's the excitement of getting going, and you want to, you're happy to have everyone back, and you want to see everyone playing again. And I think that there's been like some good things that have been seen in the first 4 days, and now we're kind of beginning, I guess, the next 4 days where I think the connections will just continue to get better. And I also think that the players are starting to feel more comfortable. The returning players are starting to feel, more comfortable, but also the new players. Just in today's practice, I felt like they're more comfortable with their teammates. They're more comfortable with us. They're more comfortable at practice and sort of knowing what we're wanting out of the drills. And I feel like today we had a good day back from our day off yesterday in Bar Harbor.
I mean, you've got, I think it was eight new players between the transfers and the pure freshmen coming in. That's a sizable chunk of your roster.
Yes, I think like we have begun to do like some formation work and like putting players into position and trying to, see how it all looks, and what our depth is in all of the lines, like with our defenders or with our midfielders and our forwards. And we've done a little bit of like 10 versus 9 full field play today, and a little bit last practice. And I think that with the new players, I think that that's like the big. There's obviously they have probably way more of an adjustment than as coaches we have, but just trying to see what, how best their tendencies so far as players are going to work with, the system and the style of play that we want to play with this season. So it's been exciting.
I know that's one of the things that you talked about. I think this is the third or fourth. It kind of goes in a blur here of coaching shows we've done, but you really wanted to take advantage of that depth and where everything is just so continuous to be able to have everybody give it all the whether the 2 5 minutes or whatever they're out there and then be able to switch off so you're constantly having the freshest legs and be able to attack as or defend it, whatever the case may be, as best you can.
Yeah, I think we're just gonna have to really, if we want to play like faster and take advantage of that, I think that we're gonna have to be committed to, the number of substitutions that we're making in midfield and the positions on the field, I guess, that require like the most running. If we want that running to be intense, then the number of minutes or time on the field will have to be like in rotation to be able to keep that speed and intensity up. And if we can't get there, then obviously if people are playing longer minutes, then the style of play is going to be a little bit different, because you have to find your opportunities in the game to know like when you can recover yourself, and when you can go. So I think so far it seems like we're going to be able to, at least in midfield and on the forward line, it seems like we'll be able to have that depth. And it more of like equal caliber players competing against each other in those roles, because sometimes when you don't have enough people, you're using a forward in a different role in a practice, and you know what I mean, and it's not sort of the same thing. But I think that it's been a really good caliber to at least begin our preparation for the scrimmage that we have on August 25th and for that opening weekend.
Right. Yeah, I mean, because how did everybody come into camp in shape? I mean, obviously that's the key thing. I mean, like high school football and everything starts on Monday. And, I was joking along and posting online. If you haven't started running 2 weeks ago, for God's sakes, don't wait until the last moment. I mean, you've got to be able to start, and especially at a Division I level, when you come into camp, you best be in shape.
Right. I think there's obviously the fitness that's been done in the summer with the running program and with the lifting program, but then playing the game is still the game fitness is still different. You don't know, I guess, that fitness program that you did over the summer until you start playing the game again.
Right.
And I think that that's also the adjustment of the first 4 days is I think players have to figure out, their fitness level and their physical ability against each other. But I think that I would have to say that I think we've returned in pretty good condition, because I think we would see some of the effects right now if we weren't in good condition. I think that we wouldn't be able to keep the intensity of our sessions the same at this point. And I also think that players would be, feeling the fatigue physically and with soreness and things. And I think that they've been able to handle that part very well so far.
Right. Yeah. Tell us a little bit about what when happened in Bar Harbor. I mean, I think I saw somebody. It wasn't Sand Beach, but it was just outside on the beach, and for many people, that was their first trip down to Bar Harbor.
Right.
Yeah. We plan to go in Bar Harbor when it's low tide. That sandbar is exposed. So our first obstacle was.
Hold on. So the best thing in my life is when people drive out onto the bar and then get stuck. I mean, it happens. And despite all the signs that say, do not drive on this sandbar, tide, and people don't realize that tide goes out and the tide comes in. And there have been annually like $50,000 cars that are just destroyed because, oops, yeah, we didn't get off the bar in time. So you were going out to trying to get out onto Bar Island.
Yeah, which we did. We made it.
Okay.
We actually did watch when we sat and ate lunch on the land side.
Yeah.
We did see some people having to walk through the water because they were missing, and luckily it wasn't too deep at that point. But yeah, no, we timed it pretty well and had a nice adventure.
We all made it back, and no one had to swim across.
Yeah.
No one had to swim across. There were no water taxis needed or tow trucks, and the Sear bus made it back in all one piece. That's
Yes.
which is good, because you don't want me to be posting that. And Lord, I could just imagine everybody rowing with their hockey stick trying to get off not gonna be.
Yeah. Well, it was really cool when we were walking and a bunch of us had worn UMaine field hockey gear, and you would just hear people be like, "Oh, it's the UMaine field hockey team," really fired up, and people would be like, "Oh, I wonder when the field hockey season is," and just hearing just these passerbyers with the excitement that a little bit of a celeb vibe, to be honest.
But that's so cool. And I mean, I know, Coach, you were at a summer camp, rather than picking everybody up. And that's going to be wicked awesome to have these young girls looking up at you and at the UMaine. I know that you guys bring in or have special days for teams to come up there, and it's going to be very cool for the girls or the ladies to be recognized as quasi celebs.
Yeah, it was interesting actually. I mean, we did have some players wearing field hockey gear, but after Leslie pointed it out to me, I did hear it quite a few times. I don't know if our players heard it, because it was always sort of after they passed, and I was at the back of the line, so I could hear some of it.
You were the one that was signing autographs. Yeah, yes, you know. Do you want anything signed? Oh my, she must be like a 6-year player or something like that. So, the preseason coaches poll came out. Not a tremendous amount of love for Maine in that poll.
Yeah, I think it's probably, I hate to say it, but it's probably where we should start from, based on last year. I think with the polls, always trying to look at the results of last year and what the teams are going to look like this season. So I think it's a good starting point, because I think we were fifth last year going into the playoff tournament, and then we had the game against UNH for the quarterfinal, and then got through that game, but made it to the semifinal game. So we were like in the top four of the conference. But I think it's a good starting point. I think those teams, like looking at those teams that are ahead of us, like Albany, Lowell, and New Hampshire, they have a lot of returning players that are coming back, and we have a lot of new players. So maybe like a little bit the unknown of what our team is going to look like. So I think it's it's good. Like, it's a good starting space for us, and know that we have like a lot of work to do to continue to do to get to that level. But I do think that the conference at the top level, those teams I think are going to be close. When we're going to play each other in conference, I think it's a good caliber this season for our conference.
You did end up with one first place vote. You don't know who voted.
No, we're not allowed to vote for ourselves, so it
Right.
wasn't me.
No, right. Well, no, right. I know that, right. But you don't know which is the other coaches, saw the writing on the wall and
Yeah,
put you in first.
yeah. Or they're playing tricks because they want it to be voted first, so give someone else less votes or something. I don't
Holy,
know.
right? Okay. Well, I mean, it was Albany ended up with 4 first place votes. UMass Lowell had 2 first place votes. New Hampshire, no first place votes, and then Maine had 1 first place vote.
Yeah.
So, okay. All right. So what is the plan going in? You've got what, 13 days, 2 weeks still before everything starts for real.
Yeah, I think we're just gonna continue obviously with our training right now, and it'll be, I think, the week of that scrimmage, we're gonna try to take that week as if it was like a regular season week for us, so to adjust a little bit what we're doing with our training for that week. And we're just working with our strength and conditioning coach, and just continue to progress every day. But getting into more specifics, so that to make sure that we're ready for that opening weekend. And we're having team meetings, and we're having sort of, the team meetings are a lot to do with sort of getting to know each other and getting together as a team. But the team meetings will progress to trying to get ready for that opening weekend, and watching some of our games from last season against those teams, and trying to see which areas we can improve on for that opening weekend.
Are you how do you get out to Chicago? Are you busing it? Are you flying, or
Yeah,
how do you?
we're flying, and UMass is going to be at the same location, and then we're busing from there to Indiana for that game, and then flying from Indiana back.
Holy. And well, I'd like to next week when we talk, well, let's talk about travel logistics and how that all works, because that's going to be quite interesting, trying to get everybody wrangled on there with all their luggage and their game gear and everything. It's a good a good lesson there for sure.
Yeah, we're gonna have to cross our fingers with the connecting flights on the way there to make sure
Right.
everything goes as smooth as it can, but obviously weather dependent, so we'll have to see.
Okay. All right. Listen, thank you both. Coach Leslie, thanks for joining us, Coach. Yeah, listen, behind the scenes, Coach Leslie was the IT coordinator today, which got us able to get everything worked on here, and then reluctantly joined us. So she was.
Well, as soon as you said my mom would love it, I was like, all right, I got to do it for my mom
Right,
now.
so we're going to send Mom a special copy, so that way she'll get this herself. So, all right. Coach, you'll be responsible for forwarding this to Coach Smith to send it to Mom. All right, ladies, thank you very much. Have a great, I just turned my microphone. Yeah, see, I need you here. All right, thank you. Thanks very much. Have a great week, and we'll talk with you next week.
All right, sounds good. Thank you.
Thank you.